Hey guys, so today I have the 2014 holiday collection from China Glaze. This one is called Twinkle. I will be doing all live swatches and some comparisons, one comparison with other China Glaze colors that I have that are similar. And yes, I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's kind of a little bit long, so I will jump right into it. So the first polish in this collection is called Tip Your Hat, and it's just a standard generic medium red cream. So here's one coat of Tip Your Hat on the bare nail. I have a lot on my brush here. So it's actually pretty decent coverage. Granted, I did have a ton on my brush. I'll try to do a little bit less on this one. Smooth it out. It's still actually really decent coverage. I wish that they didn't have generic reds like this in like every single collection though, because it gets really old constantly seeing the same colors of red come out at Christmas time. If you hear the desperate wailing in the background there, Cricket is in heat. She's getting fixed in like 3 days, but she went into heat just a little bit early. So that is one coat of Tip Your Hat on the bare nail. It's actually really, really opaque. Even when I hold it up right to the light, I still can't see my nail line. I have a little bit of a bald spot here on this pointer finger. Not bald spot, just lighter spot. So I missed saying this on the first nail, but this is 2 coats of Tip Your Hat. It covered really, really well on the first coat, but I did decide to put a second one on there just because it did deepen the color a little bit. Even though the nail line was covered, you still weren't quite getting the color in the bottle on one coat. I didn't mention the formula on this one, but it's really smooth and really easy to apply. Not too thick, not too thin. So that is 2 coats of Tip Your Hat. So the next one in this collection is Out Like a Light, and this is a dark gray cream. I pulled out Concrete Catwalk from my collection, and you can see they are pretty much identical. Concrete Catwalk looks a tiny bit lighter in person, but not noticeably. So they're like almost the exact same color. So here is one coat of Out Like a Light. So the formula on this one is okay. It's a tiny bit thick, but it's not difficult to work with at all. You can just tell that it's a little bit thicker. It's very opaque. I dare say this will be a 1-coat polish. I'll probably put a second coat just on one nail to see if it deepens the color at all like it did for the red one, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be a 1-coater. So that is 1 coat of Out Like a Light. I'm going to go ahead and leave this at 1 coat. It seems really decently opaque. I can't see my nail line. I don't have any bald or patchy spots. I think this color is kind of lame for a holiday collection, especially because they have already come out with this exact color. But it is what it is. Regardless, that is 1 coat of Out Like a Light. So the next polish in the collection is called I'd Melt For You, and it is a silver metallic. It looks very, very chrome. It looks a lot like OPI's Push and Shove actually, which when I swatched this on my swatch sticks, which I have done already, it also seemed to dry in the same finish. But that was a swatch stick and not a nail, so we'll see how this one goes. So this is 1 coat of I'd Melt For You. I am trying to be really straight with these lines too, just because of what this polish looks like. I don't want to get really bad brush strokes because brush strokes like that can really alter the finish. Trying to smooth out the brush strokes a little bit. This has really good coverage on 1 coat also. This does have a little bit of like a grittier metallic finish than like a straight chrome finish, but it might dry differently. I don't know, we'll see. So that is one coat of I'd Melt for you. I'm going to let that dry a little bit so we can see what the finish is while I clean up all the mistakes that I made. So that is one dry coat of I'd Melt for you. You can see it dried a little bit more chromy than it appeared when it was applying. Some of the sparklier, I guess, metallic particles kind of smoothed out a bit. So it's actually really similar to OPI's Push and Shove, I think. It shows a little bit of brush strokes. It shows some of the ridges in my nails, but it still has a very, very chrome finish. And it's totally opaque in one coat as well. I'm going to throw a top coat on it, just on one nail, because the OPI Push and Shove, when you put top coat on it, it completely ruined the chrome effect. So I'm just going to put a little bit of top coat on one nail to see if it does that for this one too. Yeah, it does. You can see, here I'll do half of this one. You can kind of see that it changes that chrome back almost into that grittier, more metallic looking finish than a really shiny mirror finish. So if you do end up getting this one, I will say it's probably a really good dupe for OPI's Push and Shove, but you definitely want to avoid the top coat because it looks like it alters the finish quite a bit. So the next polish that I have is called December to Remember, and it is a metallic blue with a duochrome shimmer in it. It's pink from one angle and it's a very like almost greeny gold from another angle. So it's actually a really interesting polish. It's something really unique. So here is one coat of December to Remember. The shimmer looks like it translates onto the nail really well. This one's definitely not going to be a one coater. The formula is really good though. It actually sparkles quite a bit under my lights. So that is one coat of December to Remember. I will let that dry and come back and do my second coat. So here is two coats of December to Remember. One thing I've noticed about this is that the shimmer has kind of a duochrome effect in the bottle. It flashes pink and gold. However, it seems to only be flashing the pink on the nail. It's weird. It might flash gold in other lighting because I am under like weird artificial daylight bulbs right now. But right now all I can really see is the pink, and then there seems to be kind of an underlying silver shimmer in it as well. So that is two coats of December to Remember. That has my nail line covered really well in two coats, so I'm going to go ahead and call that one a two coater. It does show a little bit of brush strokes, so you do want to be careful to make those straight. It's not bad, but they're definitely there. So the next polish is called No Peeking, and it is purple with like a tinge of red mixed into it, and then it has a silver shimmer running throughout it. It's kind of bordering on metallic. So here is one coat of No Peeking. This actually has way better coverage than I expected it to. This one is a little bit streaky. This also seems like another one that you'll have to be careful about brush strokes with. So that is one coat of No Peeking. I've got a few balder, I guess more sheer spots, so I'm going to let that dry and come back and do a second coat. Okay, so here is two coats of No Peeking. Looks like two coats is going to give me full coverage. A few of the really bad brush strokes that I had on the first coat seemed to smooth out a lot as it dried. So, I mean, they weren't bad to begin with, but you have to be, I guess, even less careful than I mentioned before. Not sure how I feel about this color. I didn't like it as much in the bottle, but I actually think I like it more on my nails. I don't know, I'm on the fence about it still. So that is two coats of No Peeking. So the next polish in this collection is called Define Good, which I think is hilarious. And this is just a shimmery wine kind of red color. It doesn't have a ton of purple in it. for me to consider it like a full-on wine color. It is just a shimmery, I guess, cranberry kind of red. So here is one coat of Define Good. A ton of polish on my brush. Oops. That actually covers really well in one coat. Brush strokes aren't bad either, and I'm hoping that what is there will kind of dry away like it did for the other polishes. This is another one that I thought was really generic and kind of not good in the bottle, but I actually like it a lot more on my nails. There's a very kind of fiery element to it. It reminds me a lot of another red one that I talk about a lot that I cannot think of the name of right now that kind of did the same thing. It was really boring in the bottle, but beautiful on the nail. So that is one coat of Define Good. I have just like a couple slightly more sheer spots, and so I'm going to clean up this mess on my ring finger, let that dry, and come back and do a second coat. Here is 2 coats of Define Good from China Glaze. The color actually darkened up a lot more than I thought it would on 2 coats as well. One of the things I've been noticing just since I've been doing these live swatches is that it's always better to try 2 coats even if the nail line is covered, especially on a darker color, because the color always tends to deepen up on 2 coats and I get surprised every time. Yeah, this color is actually really, really nice. So that is 2 coats of Define Good. So this next polish is called Meet Me Under the Stars, and it is a black jelly base with a very fine silver micro glitter, and there almost seems to be like a slightly blue tint to the base. So here's 1 coat of Meet Me Under the Stars. And this actually looks like it is more of a grayish jelly base with silver and black micro glitter in it. The black micro glitter was kind of lost in the bottle, but you can definitely see it on the nail. And this actually has really good coverage on 1 coat as well. That's actually really cool. I thought this was just going to be kind of lame. I guess I had really low expectations for this collection and I keep being surprised. So you can see that this base is kind of streaky and uneven, so hopefully that will be fixed on 2 coats because I did it really thick here on my middle finger. So that is 1 coat of Meet Me Under the Stars. Obviously we're going to need a second coat, so I will come back for that. So here is 2 coats of Meet Me Under the Stars. So that is completely covered on 2 coats, covers the nail line. We'll see about my last 2 fingers since I put that on a little bit thinner. And it is a little bit thicker than the other ones just because of that micro glitter in there. Makes it a little bit more difficult to work with. The only complaint I have about this one is that once you get the base that it's in opaque, you lose the black micro glitter again. And the base itself is a little bit too streaky to really use, like, to layer over something unless you were layering it over like a dark gray, like Out Like a Light in this collection. I think is the only thing you could really layer it over, where you could put 1 coat and still be able to see the black micro glitter, because you lose it completely once you get this base opaque. All you can see is the silver, just like you could in the bottle. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this. It's a really cool concept, but it makes the black micro glitter kind of pointless. So that is 2 coats of Meet Me Under the Stars. So this next one is called Feeling Twinkly, and it is a blue micro glitter. So here's 1 coat of Feeling Twinkly on the bare nail. So I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to wear this one on its own for the swatch or if I wanted to try to layer it over another color. Decided to do it on its own just because of the previous China Glaze collections. They all have a micro glitter that's meant to be full coverage. This one I'm thinking maybe not. It kind of looks like Like, it's the craziest, finest glitter I think I've seen in a really long time. You can't feel it in the base at all, even though it looks super dense. The glitter is just like really, really fine. So I think this is probably more of a layering polish. I'll put a few coats on and see what it's actually like once it's layered. But yeah, it's very, very, very fine. The base, like I said, feels like a normal polish. So that is one coat of Feeling Twinkly. So here is 2 coats of Feeling Twinkly. This one covers a bit better on 2 coats, but I really am doubting my decision to put this over my bare nail, because I think it definitely is more of a layering polish. So that is 2 coats of Feeling Twinkly. I will throw a 3rd coat on just for good measure, but I think it definitely is more of a layering polish. So here is 3 coats of Feeling Twinkly. So it looks okay on 3 coats, but I definitely can see the bare nail through the different pieces of glitter. So then I think I'm going to stick with my idea that this is more of a layering polish than something to be worn on its own. It just kind of threw me off because China Glaze usually always has well, I shouldn't say always. The last couple years they've had micro glitters in their Christmas collections that are full coverage, like wear on their own micro glitters. So that is 3 coats of Feeling Twinkly. Next polish is called Pining for Glitter, and it is a green micro glitter. It has what looks like that very, very fine glitter that was in Feeling Twinkly, but it also has a little bit larger hex glitter in it as well. Now I did cheat and put like a little swatch on a piece of paper just so I could see how dense it was, and because of that, I decided it would be best to layer it over another color. So this is Tip Your Hat from the same collection, and I'm going to put Pining for Glitter over top of that because it doesn't look like it would be easily a full coverage glitter. So here's 1 coat of Pining for Glitter. So there's definitely more glitter to it than the other one because it has those larger chunks in it. But I think it would also be kind of a pain in the butt to try to get this full coverage, so I'm just going to do 1 coat here and call it a layering polish. So that is 1 coat of Pining for Glitter. So this next one is called Delight, and it is a kind of pale gold micro glitter. There is a little bit of that very, very fine glitter that Feeling Twinkly was, with some of the slightly larger hex glitters that were in Pining for Glitter, and then it also has holographic gold bars in it as well. So I'm also putting this one over Tip Your Hat. Here is 1 coat of Delight. It seems like you have to work with this one a little bit just to get the glitter coverage even. If you try to apply it like a regular polish, it looks like it's just going to wipe the glitter that you already applied right back off. There's not a lot of fishing required, which is nice. So that is 1 coat of Delight from China Glaze. So this next polish is called Dancing and Prancing, and it's kind of a pale glitter mix. There's some orange, blue, and pink, but they're all kind of pale, washed out colors, and then it's mixed in with like a very silvery slash really, really pale gold. It's so like weird, it's kind of difficult to tell. I think it's kind of a pale, like, I don't know, pinky gold, if that makes sense, like a rose gold kind of glitter. So here's 1 coat of Dancing and Prancing, and I'm using Out Like a Light as my base for this one. This one looks like it's going to take some glitter placement as well, just to make sure that you're not applying and swiping off all the glitter in one step. One thing I noticed about these glitters when I swatched them on my swatch sticks is that it seemed like the base on all of them dried matte. And I'm not noticing that so much on my nails, so I don't know if I'm wiping it off before it's completely dry, or if that was just like a reaction that the base had with the plastic of my swatch sticks, but it is something to note. I'm not noticing it on my nails, but I did notice when I swatched that it seemed like the clear base that these glitters were in dried matte. So that is Dancing and Prancing. And the last polish in this collection is called Chillin' with My Snowmies, and it is a matte white hex glitter mix with all different sizes. It looks in the bottle like there's a lot of base and not a lot of glitter, so we will see. And I'm using Out Like a Light as a base for this one. And I have 3 pieces of glitter. Oh, wait. 4. I have 4 pieces of glitter on my brush. And I'm doing a lot of swirling and fishing, and it's just not happening. So there's 1. Oh, I got 2. Let's try to nab these. There's 3. And then if I get a ton of base, I can tap the rest of those off there. But now there's a ton of that white base on there. Oh, I got quite a few on that one. So yeah, there's a lot of base here and not a, oh, drip. So there's a lot of base here and not a lot of glitter. There's a lot of fishing required, and it's getting, the polish is getting thick on the nail because I'm having to put so much base on. So that is 1 coat of Chillin' with My Snowmies, and it is no good. Bad polish. So that sucks, but otherwise I do like the rest of the collection. So that is the entire China Glaze Holiday 2014 collection. It's called Twinkle. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.